Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're regular here, you know I review many photographic, audio and video related products. And if you're new here, well, that's exactly what I do. Now, today I want to talk about Canon. I want to talk about their recent announcement that they're banning third-party manufacturers from manufacturing autofocus lenses for the new Canon, well, it's not that new, but the Canon RF system, which is their mirrorless system, not the EF lenses, but the RF lenses. And I actually think it's a bad decision. They can manufacture manual focus lenses, and there are manufacturers making lenses for the Canon RF system, such as Viltrox and Mikey, and I'm sure there's other Chinese manufacturers that are as well. But they cannot manufacture autofocus lenses for the Canon RF system. And I think that's a bad decision from Canon's point of view, and I think that it's a bad PR decision. I do reckon, though, at some point in the future, I mean, we're at the beginning of 2023 when I made this video, but I do think at some point later this year, maybe even next year, they will release, the patents so that third-party manufacturers can make lenses for the system, but they can't at the moment. Now, there's two things I want to say about that. Firstly, that doesn't concern me, and I don't think it should concern anyone investing in the RF system. I know online there's been many people commenting that they won't do it because, it's restricting them from what lenses they can buy. And that is completely true. If you want to buy native RF mount glass, at the moment, you have to buy Canon RF mount glass. And it's either really expensive, or if you've got the Canon APS-C bodies, there isn't a really big selection from Canon for the APS-C range. But I don't think some people are absolutely aware that you can use the Canon's full-frame RF lenses on the APS-C R7 and R10, and I do very successfully all the time. So I do want to get that point over in case there are some people that don't realise that you can. As an example, I'm running my Canon R7 up here at the moment. That's the APS-C, top of the range APS-C body from Canon. And I'm running the R7 with its full frame 16mm lens on. And that works natively on that. It's an RF mount lens, fits on that beautifully. And it's a really good value lens and a great quality lens. So you can use the full frame lenses on the APS-C bodies. But Canon don't make a lot of native APS-C lenses. I mean, there's 3 of them they're making at the moment. I'm sure they'll introduce more. But what I want people to realise, you can adapt the Canon EF lenses to work absolutely first class on the RF bodies. Now that would be either Canon EF lenses or EFS lenses. The S denotes the APS-C lenses, and then the EF is their full frame lenses. So with the adapter, you can either mount an EF lens, full frame lens, or an EF lens on the Canon RF bodies. And I'm not so sure, everyone appreciates that. Now, as living proof, I'm actually running my Canon RP, which is a full frame body, with the Canon EF 85mm lens on, and that's on the Canon RP at the moment because that lovely bokeh in the background, that lovely separation between me and the background, the autofocus works great. It's a great combination, and it's a great value combination because I got this EF lens for around 200 quid. So you don't have to spend a lot of money buying third-party or even Canon EF lenses for the Canon RF bodies. I know this all gets confusing, but this is where the issue lies, is the confusion that most of the manufacturers have created with their new mirrorless bodies. But Canon particularly because of banning third-party manufacturers. But you can still use Sigma or Tamron EF lenses on the RF bodies with the adapter. So if you do want to get into the Canon ecosystem, the Canon mirrorless ecosystem, please don't be put off by the fact that you can't buy that many RF lenses. I've got a Sigma 17-70 lens, that's an APS-C lens. That works beautiful on my R10 or my R7. But as I say, I'm running the 85mm lens on my Canon RP, that's adapted. And I'm also running on my Canon R10 I'm running the Canon 17-40 L mount EF lens on the Canon R10, and that's a full frame EF lens working on the APS-C body, and it's working fantastic. I'm having no issues with it whatsoever. Fantastic value for lens, lovely wide angle lens on the RP if I'm using it as a full frame lens, but also a lovely lens on the on the R10, even taking into account the APS-C crop factor. So, you know, this video is really just to clarify that it is annoying that Canon are not releasing the mount for third-party manufacturers to make lenses for, but it isn't the end of the world. It's not a deal breaker, because, you know, go out and buy your Canon R6 Mark II or your Canon you know, R10, R7, whatever, and adapt lenses. I know the adapters can be a pain in the butt because you've got an extra piece of, well, it's about that big, isn't it? You've got an extra piece of metal between the lens and the camera body. But all said and done, you know, if it gets the job done until Canon do release the mount or release a patent so that the mount can be made by, you know, third-party manufacturers, so be it, you know. And the lens quality from these old EF lenses is great. You know, some people will say it's not a you know, professional way of working, and professionals won't like the quality that comes off it. Well, I would say for video, the quality is great because the resolution is far higher than what the 4K video is going to produce. As it happens, my RP is recording in 1080. Although I am feeding it out to my Ninja 5, it's only outputting the HD signal. So, and for me, I upload everything to YouTube in HD anyway, so fine and dandy for me. And I'm loving the out of focus area in the background. I'm loving what the 85mm lens gives. So, you know, a great lens and a great combination on the Canon RP. And likewise on the R10, the 17-40, it's working great. So I do believe Canon have made a big PR mistake. I think what they should be saying is, we're not allowing it at the moment, but at some time in the future, be it to, you know, later this year or early 2024, we will be allowing Sigma, Tamron and various other third-party manufacturers to make lenses for the RF mount. I mean, that's what they should be saying, rather than saying we're not going to allow it at all. Maybe they never will allow it, you know, who knows. I hope they will, but that's where we are at the moment. So I just wanted to make this short video to say, adapt your old lenses. And again, great, if you've got a Canon DSLR and you've got quite a few EF lenses knocking around, then, you know, get the adapter. Some dealers are supplying the adapter as part of a deal to get you into the RF system, but the adapters are only about 100 quid, so they're not incredibly expensive, and some are even less than that if you buy from the likes of Mikey or one of the other, you know, third-party manufacturers. I will put some links in the description below of some of the adapters I use and where you can get them from. I've got a Mikey adapter with a filter, drop-in filter. That is a great adapter. You know, take a look at that. But also take a look at my Flickr page where you see sample images taken with, you know, EF lenses on the Canon RF body. I leave a link to me photo album on Flickr so you can take a look at that. So there we go. I hope you liked this video. Please hit the like button if you did like this video, you like the content of it. That really would help me grow the channel. And please subscribe if you haven't already done so. Really, really would appreciate that. So thanks very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos relating to video photography, podcasting, so on and so forth. Cheers for now. Bye.